All my life, I was very interested in art and creativity. I took lots of art classes, was involved in art contests, and did art in my free time. I loved the way I could sit back, relax, and do artwork to express anything. When I was little, I would do any type of art ranging from painting, drawing, pottery, to anything. It was something that I found myself being good at. I made artwork for my parents, grandparents, friends, teachers, and anyone who wanted it. As I grew older, I found myself doing art less and less. I was a busy person. As I got into high school, I figured out that there are so many different ways to incorporate art and creativity into anything you do. In high school, I took a marketing and advertising type of class, which opened up a whole new world to me. My name is Samantha Matz, and this is when I realized that I wanted to go into advertising. Advertising is a huge thing in society today that continues to grow, especially with social media and new technology that improves how companies advertise to their customers. Even if you don't want to go into advertising, you'll probably encounter using communication and creativity in your life somehow. When I was on the tennis team in high school, I was offered to run our school tennis team Twitter page and also designed our uniforms and gear for the season. This was a great way for me to incorporate creativity in a way that resembled the school and team that I loved playing for. All of my teammates loved the gear and were excited that more people in our school would be updated more frequently for games, match times, photos, and our team and other fundraisers and events that we had going on during the season with Twitter. This made our tennis team a bigger deal at my school and made it legit. My friends and family soon started to realize that this was something I was passionate about. As I got older, I realized one main skill if I wanted to make this hobby of mine run efficiently: communication. Communication can really make or break how accurate your advertising is. If you can't communicate effectively when you are trying to advertise, it can turn into a disaster. You don't want someone to feel like they could have advertised their company in a better way on their own. You want them to think, wow, I could have never done this on my own. You want them to feel whatever it is being advertised enough so that everyone is aware of it. When I was designing outfits for our team, it was very important for me to communicate to the team about sizes, colors, money requirements, and other updates on orders. It was a harder task than it seems and taught me how to really reach out to people in order to give them exactly what they wanted. I believe that in order to be successful at advertising, it is important to know how to communicate with all types of different people. In this field, you could be working with any type of person at any age, and it is important to know the best ways to communicate with them. The type of client and the age that you are working with will change how you want to reach out to them and to the audience appropriately. Learn about your client and get to know them. If you can't communicate properly with the client, then it will be a hard time giving the client exactly what they're looking for. There may be multiple people involved in a project, and you need to be sure to communicate with all of them on good terms. Since this is such a big role in advertising, it is something that takes time to develop in order to do it best. Another big part to advertising smoothly are the different platforms you use to communicate to your client, as well as advertising itself. Nowadays, email, texting, calling, direct messaging on social media are all efficient ways. Know your client and know how to reach out to them in the best way possible. However, some people may work better with in-person communication. Most people like to use email today. You wouldn't be able to reach out to a grandfather about advertising for his company as you would advertising for a 22-year-old right out of college. You might want to reach out to your grandfather by sitting down for coffee, whereas it might be easier to call the 22-year-old and talk to them over the phone. Be sure to figure out the most appropriate way to communicate with them. Lastly, being able to call up your client and follow up with them after you have finished a project for them is very important. It shows good customer service and lets them know you really care about their product or company. You don't want to do really good advertising for a client and then lose contact with them because you are busy with other projects. If there were any errors in the work you did, it is important to follow up with them and show that you still care about their advertising. You can learn a lot from doing this and become an even better advertiser for the future and continue to improve your skills. This creating a genuine trust between you and the client. A lot of the times, if you keep in contact with the client, they can refer you to future opportunities that would be great. It is always good to make connections with people that you work for in order to improve your reputation as an advertiser and do well publicly. Keeping all of these key skills in mind will help benefit you to the best of your ability. Communication as an advertiser throughout the process. There are many responsibilities that come into consideration as an advertiser. It is crucial to maintain your image and do exactly what you are told in order to advertise best. Communicating effectively is half the work. We see advertising everywhere we go, whether it be on campus, out shopping, TV commercials, billboards, social media, literally anywhere. Advertising is a great field to be in. There are so many interesting and different ways to do it creatively. Advertisers are hired for things such as clothing sales, car sales, insurance companies, banks, hospitals, and so on. The reason I love advertising is because you can do literally anything with it. I love how when something is advertised properly, it speaks and stands out to the customer, and then that person goes out and tells other people about it. It is best to advertise in a memorable way and create awareness for everyone, leading to big conversation. I love when someone does good and enjoys what you did because of the work and time you put in to help them. My goal is to make customers happy and hopefully one day make it big in the world of advertising. I'm not trying to sell anyone on going into the advertising world. I'm trying to inform you about how advertising and communication skills are used and seen in everyday lives. These 3 communication skills are things that everyone can work on, whether it be reaching out to a teacher for help or just applying for a job. These tips are crucial. Thank you.